If supplements alone actually caused weight loss, America would be shredded by now. Unfortunately, they don't. But if you're heading into 2026, trying to improve your health and lose some weight, there are supplements that make that process a lot easier to stick to, which is the unsexy part everyone skips. So this isn't a burn fat while you sleep video. It's a how do I stop accidentally making this harder than it needs to be video. Supplements alone don't cause weight loss. They reduce friction. They don't replace effort. They just stop you from fighting yourself. They make eating less and moving more suck less. Now, this is mostly for people not on GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and tirzepatide. But if you are, I'll flag the stuff that actually helps instead of ruining your stomach. Hey there, friends. I'm Jake, and this is Bottom Line, where we cut through the supplement noise with some actual science, a little humor, and some hard-earned industry experience. Been in the supplement industry on the brand side and on the manufacturing side for over a decade. I also do consulting, so if you're a brand looking for help with formulas, strategy, or just avoiding dumb mistakes, check out the link in the description. And if you're feeling generous, would love to have you like and subscribe here so we can stay in touch. Now, let's start with the least sexy, but most useful one. A shocking amount of people think they're hungry when actually they're just dehydrated. And I don't mean spiritually dehydrated, just haven't had water in 6 hours dehydrated. Hunger and thirst signals are run by the same internal department, and that department is wildly understaffed. No manager, no training, just vibes. So no, hydration doesn't burn fat. It just prevents a lot of unnecessary snacking that happens because your body is confused and mildly panicking. Before you eat something random out of boredom, stress, or vibes, drink a glass of water first. This is not medical advice. This is just being an adult. If you're still hungry 10 minutes later, congrats. That was real hunger. This is where sugar-free hydration powders really help. They make it easier to drink enough water consistently, especially if plain water tastes like nothing and sadness to you. If you're super active, sweat a lot, sauna, endurance stuff, Element makes a lot of sense. Just know it's very high sodium. It's not an all-day sippy drink unless you're earning it. If you're more walking, lifting, living a normal human life, sugar-free liquid IV is usually the better fit, or something similar. Now, electrolytes aren't mandatory. They're just a tool to make hydration easier. And easier habits beat perfect plans every time. Now, let's talk about the supplement everyone knows they should be using, but somehow still screws it up. Protein. Protein is the least controversial supplement in existence. Everyone agrees it works. Everyone agrees it matters. And then nobody actually eats enough of it, including the people yelling about it online. Protein keeps you full longer. It's harder to overeat. And it helps you hold on to muscle while you're losing weight, which matters way more than you might think. If your weight loss plan includes any amount of exercise, which it should, protein just makes it more effective, especially if you're lifting. Weight loss, where you lose muscle instead of fat, just makes you smaller and more tired. That's not the goal here, unless your goal is tired but smaller, which I don't recommend. Protein also works stupidly well as an in-between meal snack. Low calories, actually filling, and doesn't spiral into a full meal by accident. Just watch the calories and avoid protein powders that sneak in a bunch of sugar for no reason. I'm not saying sugar is illegal. I'm saying it's not helping the situation. I personally use Seek. Yes, there's a code. No, this is not a hostage situation. I would like you to know that I feel totally normal about this. Use whatever protein you'll actually stick with. That's the one that works. Okay, now let's talk about the supplement people desperately want to be magic. Berberine. Berberine is one of those supplements that works, just not in the way people want it to. No, it's not Ozempic. And if anyone tells you it's nature's Ozempic, that comparison is doing a lot of emotional heavy lifting. Berberine is mainly a blood sugar support supplement. It helps with insulin sensitivity and glucose control, which for some people can make appetite and cravings easier to manage. It's been studied for metabolic health for a long time. This isn't some brand new TikTok discovery. TikTok just found it recently. Does it directly cause weight loss? No. Can it make weight loss easier for certain people? Yes. Now, this is not something to stack blindly if you are on GLP-1 drugs or diabetes medication. If you're already taking something that lowers your blood sugar, don't just start adding stuff on vibes. Ask your prescriber, not your group chat. If you're not on GLP-1s and you struggle with blood sugar swings or appetite control, Berberine can be a useful tool. Just don't expect it to do cardio for you. Now, a quick detour. Creatine. No, it doesn't burn fat. No, it's not a weight loss supplement. But it is extremely useful when you're losing weight. When you diet, your energy drops. Your workouts get worse. And that's usually when people stop lifting. Creatine helps you train harder while you're in a calorie deficit, which helps you keep muscle, which helps you look better when the weight comes off. And no, you're not gonna accidentally get bulky. If you could get bulky by accident, there wouldn't be a ton of people asking how to do it on Reddit. Think of creatine as performance insurance, not a fat burner. And also, oddly, it has some awesome brain benefits, which is wild because most people still think it's that scary white gym powder your parents warned you about. Okay, now let's talk about the supplement that matters way more if you are on GLP-1 drugs. Fiber. I know, very sexy, but still important. If you're not on GLP-1 drugs and you eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, you probably don't need a fiber supplement. But if you are on GLP-1s, your digestive system may be going through a learning curve. Sometimes that means constipation. Sometimes that means the opposite. Sometimes both, somehow. The human body is a mystery. A haunted house, frankly. Fiber helps normalize digestion. It can help with fullness, and it tends to make the whole experience a lot less chaotic. Something simple and soluble. Psyllium type, for example. That's usually the move. My advice here, start low, go slow, and drink more water. This is not a double scoop on day one kind of situation. That would be a self-inflicted wound. Fiber isn't glamorous, but it's one of the few things that actually make GLP-1s easier to live with. And I think it's gonna be the next craze after protein. Mark that one down. Okay, last one. Fat burners. I'd classify these as optional. Very optional. Like, only if you're already doing everything else optional. And not nearly as exciting as the label wants you to believe. You do not need a fat burner to lose weight. At all. Most basic fat burners are just stimulants. Usually caffeine, sometimes tyrosine or similar ingredients for focus. When you're in a calorie deficit, your energy dips. Your internal energy department starts sending emails like, per my last email, we are f***ing exhausted. That's normal. A stimulant can help you feel less tired, and it can blunt your appetite a little bit. That's not magic, that's chemistry, not a personality. If you're sensitive to caffeine, anxious, or already not sleeping well, this is probably not your category. And if a fat burner needs a novel-length label to explain itself, that's a red flag. And honestly, a cry for help. So if you're heading into 2026 with weight loss or health goals, this doesn't need to be complicated. Hydration, to stop fake hunger. Protein, to stay full and keep muscle. Berberine, for some people, not everyone. Creatine, to keep training from falling apart. Fiber, especially if you're on GLP-1s. Fat burners, optional. To reiterate, none of these cause weight loss. They just make the basics easier to stick to. And boring plans that you actually follow beat perfect plans you quit every time. Ask me how I know how. If this was helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel here so we can stay in touch. And if you want deeper dives on any of these without the nonsense, that's the whole point of this channel. Thanks for checking out Bottom Line. I'll see you next time. And happy 2026.